So I don't know how I'm ever going to be able to top Phantom's performance the other day. Who knew Phantom could spin a ball on his finger so effortlessly? Like, there's nothing I could do. He's the greatest. He's so good looking, and he's just so talented. He could do anything. I mean, he can literally do anything, right? He can do anything. I was like, what can I do to top this man? This man is so talented. Like, for real. And I was like, I wonder if he could do this. I'm sure he can. But then again, he's probably going to come out here and he's probably going to take 3 of them. And he's going to juggle them. And he's going to catch them. And he's going to show off in front of everybody. And I'm just going to have to delete my channel, I guess. Now that I got your attention, we're going to show off some CGC reveals. And oh yeah, my eyes are actually closed, by the way. Yeah, not too bad, huh? This is actually my first submission to CGC, and they're going to surprise you. They're pretty good. And also, sorry, ignore the room. It's a little messy out here. We're going to get this cleaned up, don't worry. And then stick around for real, because I think I have the only something in the world. And of course, I'm going to show y'all. So we're going to do a quick breakdown on the grades, and I'll kind of show you what I was expecting, maybe what brought some grades down that I didn't see, and then kind of give y'all the overall what I think about my first submission to CGC and see if it's worth it. And yeah, brother, good luck with that challenge. Hello everybody, Bayou Boogeyman here. Again, don't know what that guy was doing that you just watched, but let's do a quick breakdown. We're gonna do this really fast and just kind of show what some of these CGC submissions come back as. And I think it was 28 cards, but I got them kind of laid out in old Yu-Gi-Oh! That mid-tier, like 2013 to 2022 stuff. I got some modern, my nice little Pikachu thing here. And then these are OP and some Riftbound. So let's just start off real fast with these. I just sent in some of these Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards I had in just to see what they would get. And I think this one, I was shooting for the 10. I don't think it was pristine, but I think I was shooting for a 10. Couldn't find out what was wrong with it. I do know the corners aren't as crispy as they should be. Also, ignore there's a lot of dust on these, as the CGC ones always do. This one, I think I was also going for the 10. I'm pretty sure I was sent all these in going for a 10, except for this one. I just thought it was Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's probably worth, $20-30. I just thought it was cool because, he's kind of the name of Yu-Gi-Oh! So I wanted to get that one out, and maybe somebody wants to start the collection or just want, a nice blue-eyed white dragon. Again, I think the corners are just not as crispy as they should be, which, I didn't have any expectations on these. So this is my first submission to CGC. So it was like a big test submission. So I got some cards that I wanted, some modern, some old, some not Pokemon, and then I just had these lying around. So I went ahead and took a shot on those. Let's get into this mid-tier here. Kind of got what I expected on this one. Off-centered, clearly. You see it there. Tucked up into the top right. Other than that, it was a great card. Thought it could get a 10 if the off-centered, if they overlooked it a little bit. They clearly didn't. I expected that, I guess. Did get these two. I love the Amazing Rares, and they're just starting to go up in value a little bit. So I got these out last month, before, like right before they started lifting up in price, and now they are. So getting this one in a pristine was pretty huge. It's about $100 as of last week. Whenever I looked, it might be going a little bit better now. Nice centered card. I pulled all these cards. I pulled myself except for the Yu-Gi-Oh! And I remember pulling these in 2020, and I pulled them and instantly put them in top loaders. So some of these cards, I'm going to show you the grades, and they weren't put in top loaders because initially they weren't valuable cards. So these two end up doing really well. I think this one's still like 50 or 60 in a 10. And then when you're paying $14.50 for the cards, these are like a $30 bonus. This is like a $80, $85 bonus. So nice cards there. And I got them in sequential. So I guess if somebody wanted them, I guess they go like this. So I guess if somebody actually wanted them, they'd be a sequential 10s there. This one is kind of interesting for me. I had like 9 of these. And I took the one that I thought was the best one. I remember my submission video saying this was, should be a 10, shooting for a pristine. And now that I'm looking at the card, you can see the lip. Yeah, there's a lip there. There's a lot of dust. It looks like it might be a white dot there. Don't remember that being the case on my original video, but I may have overlooked it. And then this one, I had like 3 of these at one point. Sent 2 to PSA. I think I got an 8 and a 7. And then this was my worst one of the 3. And we've talked about it a few times, but there's a lot of damage there. That corner's not the prettiest. That's some dust. I think actually all the corners kind of weren't the best. But I did want it slabbed, and I was expecting like a 5 or maybe a 6, and got the 7.5. 7.5 in a CGC right now is going about $400. So the whole submission cost me $350, and this card alone will pay for the submission, plus the shipping, plus the insurance and all that. So end up being a pretty good card for the submission to pay off everything, and everything else will be profit. So, you know, of course I'm gonna take some L's on these lower cards, but then, you know, everything else is kind of on the house. Did a lot of these Black Star promos from the 2015 XY Air. Did this one. So I did a few of them, and I also got like 6 of these out to PSA, you know, whenever they do come back. And I was just kind of testing how they did with the foils, and this one was all centered. I passed up sending this one like 4 or 5 times, so I went to CGC just to see what they did. I haven't checked the comps on them. There's probably not many comps. You know, if I can get $25, $30 off of them. And I think things like the Salamence might go a little higher, but if I can get $30 off of them, then they are, you know, profit going in at $14.50 a piece. And then tested one with just a hollow Deoxys. I thought the card looked great, so I sent it off as like a test. And then whenever I seen the pictures from them, the corners weren't as crispy as I remember. Yeah, you see the dot there. You see the dot there. So other than that, you know, again, I'm probably going to break even or maybe even lose a few bucks on it, but I'm able to with how good the rest of the submission went. This one was also a test subject. There's only 6 of these graded in general, 3 at PSA and 3 at CGC, and now a 4th one at PSA. When I was looking at it, when I sent it, it looked crispy. So I assumed maybe a 10. We got the 8.5. Again, it was more of a test card. It's an older card, 2013. Thought it looked really good. Thought I would get a 10. A 9 probably wouldn't have been bad. At 8.5, I'm probably going to break even-ish, you know, unless somebody just really wants that card in a slab. Let's move to modern. Also, test subject. I want to see how they did with the hollows. I thought this card was great. Thought it was perfectly centered, packed fresh pulled. Looked really good. And then in the high-res pictures they took, one of the corners looked pretty bad. Don't know why I would get an 8.5 over just a 9 or a 10. You know, maybe there's a dink in the hollow or something I didn't see. So that's probably going to be another little L on my end. And this was also test subject number 2. Again, just a Gengar, so I figured, you know, test it. If it came back, these 2 got sent in hoping for pristine. In a pristine, they were going for like $80 last month. So, you know, they're $80 to $100. 10, I would assume they're 30 to 40. And then getting a 9 in them, kind of, you probably just get your money back. Yeah, they were test subjects, so kind of learned a lesson. I don't know what was wrong with them. I looked them over. I don't really see much, but that's what we got. I picked up this one at LGS. I thought it was great off rip, and then their high-res images showed some corner whitening on one of the corners. I also thought it was a 10. I didn't think it was pristine, but I didn't think it was going to be a 9. In a 10, you get 30, $40 for it on top, so like 40, 50 value. And then in the pristine, they go for about 100. So these are one of the cards that made sense to send to CGC, trying to get a 10 or a pristine. If you get a 9, you kind of break even. You know, it's unfortunate. Don't really know what was wrong with it. I just didn't think it was perfect. Like, I didn't think the center maybe was perfect, so I didn't think pristine. But got a 9, so probably going to break even on that one as well when it sells. Same thing with this one. Picked it up from the LGS, and in the moment, thought it was good. And as soon as I got it home, I realized something. There was like something in one of the corners, and it wasn't a white dot, but there is a white dot there. It wasn't a white dot. I'm not sure what it was, but something told me, like in my notes says, you know, probably don't grade. But then again, in the 9, it would have kind of been a break even. 10, I'll still get a little profit. Again, didn't think it was going to get it. So, you know, probably break even if I can sell it out for, you know, $14. Still a great, I mean, I love the colors on this card. Ambipom, pack fresh pulled by me. You know, assumed a pristine is what I was shooting for. The 10, you know, still like 30, 40 bucks. Kind of got a $20, $30 win out of it. I just think those colors are phenomenal. I hope they show up on the camera during editing. I'll make sure the color correction is pretty good. But yeah, just a cool card. Phantasmal Flames. And I got these out like right as the set was ending. And then picked this one also up at the LGS. In my notes, I actually had probably don't grade. Like I bought 3 of them because they were all like $3, $4 a piece. And I think I put in my notes like don't grade this one. And then it just said, you know, screw it, grade it anyways. And got the 10. So any of these 25th anniversary starters, they go, I mean, they sell fast and they sell well. So if I could break, you know, 40 or 50 or whatever the comps are for these, it'll be a little win. And then let's go here. I got the Pikachu V-UNION. I got all 4. Let's see, 1 second. Bought this one off of an eBay lot. Had the guy send me a bunch of pictures and got a 9 here. I look at it. I don't really know why. It is a little off-centered. Maybe even a little canted, it looks like turned a little bit. One of the front corners did kind of look a little lipped up or something, but it wasn't bad. But we got the 9 there. We got the 10, 9 in the top left. We got the 10 in the top right. And then we got the pristine in the bottom left. And then what I found out the hardest one to grade is the bottom right. We got the 10. So this one usually fetches more of a premium for whatever reason. I think the borders are easier to see so that they don't get the 10 as often. Sequential set. And this is where I'm curious if you're still here. Leave a comment down below because I'm trying to figure out whether I go buy a 10 for, they probably go like 40 or 50 bucks, something like that. Or the pristines go for like 80 or 90. Should I go buy the 10 and then sell the set as like 10 plus? Or do I leave the sequential and let the buyer decide whether they want that 10 or not? Because I would think as a display piece, you would want all 10s. But also having sequential fetches a premium. So I like the sequential, but I'm not going to be the, I'm not the buyer here. So let me know what y'all would do. Like, would y'all buy the 10 and then sell it as all 10 pluses? Or just leave the sequential? Yeah, let me know in the comments. I'm actually curious. Now here's my favorite little stack, and what y'all all been waiting for. Got the Riftbound. This was a promo from the pre-release of the first set. The only thing missing for this to be the pristine is a little canted. You can probably tell on camera there. Yeah, the top is a little bit bigger than the left side. The top left is smaller, top right's bigger. Almost got the pristine there. This one I will probably hold on to. I'm thinking anything pre-release promo of Riftbound, especially an iconic character like Jinx, is probably going to be worth something eventually. Got an Egghead Luffy. Came from the starter deck box. I sent in 2, as we see here. Was just testing them, see what they would get. 9, I think this is probably a perfect piece for somebody getting their collection off the ground. Maybe they just like Luffy. 9s are affordable. It's cool artwork. And here's what y'all been waiting for. I got a sequential set of the Egghead Luffy and the parallel. Like, look at those. The pop reports for the CGC shows there are 14 pristines they've done. And there's only 35 of these pristines. And, if we can get the camera there, got them in sequential. 003, 004. My guess is this is the only sequential set in the world. And I don't know how to feel about that because there's no comps on it. I'm not much of a One Piece guy, but I know Luffy's very popular. I love the artwork on this. This was the deck box leader that was in a wrap pack. This was a promo that came out of the, you had 3 promo cards inside the starter deck box. When I sent him in, he was worth about 120. They fall into like 50 or 60 bucks. So it's still a $50 pristine Luffy, parallel, all art, whatever. And then his sequential deck box. Like those two together, like I really just don't know what to do with them. My guess is they probably go over the $500 mark together. I'm only going to sell them together. I got them sequential, thankfully. I did have this one in right behind this one. So this is 3, this is 4, so this would have been 2. Thankfully, this one got the pristine and not that one. So yeah, I just think this is really cool. It should be the only sequential pristine set, I guess, in the world, or English set in the world. So these are really, really cool. I'll leave those right there for y'all. And then the last one I was testing, this is just I guess they would call it a rare. Full art, Miss All Sunday, you know, popular card, waifu card. Sent it in, packed fresh, thinking, you know, get a pristine on it, probably worth $50. And then I get the 7.5, and I can't see on the, let's see if I can get it for y'all. I couldn't see it on the CGC pictures, and probably not going to get it here because my light's not that great. But there is like a boom, boom, boom. There's like a three indents right there. And I don't remember sending them, you know, with indents, obviously. But it does look like something caught it. And it almost looks like a nail, like a fingernail. I'm not going to get it on here. Y'all have to trust me. But yeah, I was like looking over this card on the front, and I was like trying to look, and I hit I got a big light over here. And man, it caught it just right, and seeing there was like 3 nail prints. And like one's pretty long. It was like this long. Anyways, so 7.5, that's going to be a big loss. You know, I'll probably just dump it for a few bucks to somebody that wants a waifu card in the CGC. But my overall experience with CGC, because a lot of these cards were from the XY era, or stuff that I didn't pull pack fresh, I don't expect to get pristines on, or even 10s really, because, you know, you're not going to see all the flaws in the cameras. Kind of like these. Like I had this guy send me, probably 10 pictures of every card. I paid his like premium price because, you know, they looked really good. And this one still got the 9. And then in my notes, I have this one as the pristine. And then the one that got the pristine, I have it as a 9. So, I'm sorry. I have it as a 10. And it kind of flip-flopped. My pristine got the 9. The one that I thought would get maybe a 10 got the pristine. So, you know, if I'm pulling them packed fresh, you know, I have all my One Piece, the Riftbound, and then all my modern stuff. And then even my Amazing Rares that's been in top loaders for 6 years, all packed fresh, pulled by me. So in this like 28 card lot, probably 10, 11, 12 of them, I actually assumed I would get, you know, like I was shooting for the pristine, and I got back, 4 of them. So I'd say it's probably about a 40% pristine rate hit, which is, I think, pretty good because my next stack, I have, these are all packed fresh, pulled by me cards. So these will all be shooting for 10s and pristines. So I have, this will be like a real submission. This was a test submission. This will be my real submission. And I did some mix-ups here too. I got high-end promos. I got high-end alt arts from 3 or 4 different TCGs. So this one I'll be shooting for 10s and pristine. So we'll see what this one gives back. I'll be mailing it out in a couple of days. I have one more card coming in, and then I'm mailing them out. But yeah, that was it. I hope y'all enjoyed the intro. If y'all are still here, like this video for me. Chat in the comments. Let's get the algorithm moving, because I really do think that these are the only sequential pristines in the world. And maybe there's a Luffy buyer that wants to reach out to me and snag these from me. Other than that, I'll probably sit on for a little bit. They'll either go on my store, link in the descriptions, or they'll go on eBay and just see what the market gods give us. That's gonna be it, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. We hit 200 subs yesterday, which is cool. I don't know how, but we did it. And thanks for watching, guys. And until next time, the swamp is growing. Don't get lost out there.